Hey, welcome back to Python MC. I'm your Python MC coach, Richard Ashe. And in this section, we are going to break while loops. We are going to find a lot of different ways to get errors in while loops. So here we go. Remember in the last section, we had this concept of a counter. So each time the loop repeated, it would increase the counter by 1. And it would keep on going until, in this case, the counter equaled 3. So while the counter was less than 3, it was going to repeat. Once it was equal to 3, it would stop. We started the counter at 0. We started the while loop with the keyword while and the colon at the end. We said while counter is less than 3. It's going to repeat the code, and it does it 1, 2, 3 times. And when the counter equals 3, it stops because it's no longer less than 3. Makes sense, right? What if we just said while the counter is less than 0? Okay, well, the counter is 0. So while counter is less than 0, what do you think was going to happen? Just guess for a second. Well, it's not going to run, is it? Because the counter is 0. So if while counter is less than 0, okay, well, the counter is 0, so I guess I'm not going to run that code, is what Python says. So you got to be careful with your counter. Just make sure that you're clear about how many times you want it to repeat. And then you're going to have to make sure that it's performing as expected. So the counter plus equals 1, and then it's going to keep on doing that until it equals 3. Now, here's a way to screw up a while loop. Now, it might completely break my browser. Hopefully it doesn't, because that would be a little bit of a pain. So it's going to go while counter is less than or equal to 3. And I forgot to put the plus equals 1. So what it's doing, instead of with plus equals 1, it increases this variable by 1. What if I do just equals 1? So it's assigning the value of 1 to the variable counter. Then it's going back to the top and saying, while counter is less than 3, well, it's not. It's equal to 1. And it repeats this code. And counter's staying at 1. It goes, well, is counter less than 3? Yeah, it is. It's going to repeat this forever. Now this is going to probably break. I might have to restart my browser, and sure does. It's going to, now I have what you can see, it's this locked on run, and it is now officially a runaway loop. I probably have to stop and restart EarSketch, which is exactly what I'm going to need to do. Actually, I might even have to stop and restart my browser. Here we go, EarSketch. So I actually had to restart EarSketch in the process. So a little bit of a pain there. So if you create a condition in EarSketch or in Python in general, and if that condition is an infinite loop, in other words, if you set it up in such a way that it'll keep on going and going and going forever, then you will actually possibly need to restart your computer or restart your browser in this case. Now, going back to the way it used to be, well, counter is less than 3, counter plus equals 1. The other way to screw this up, of course, I got to be consistent with the way I use type in Python keywords like while. In this case, I get a syntax error because I put a W, capital W, so it should be a lowercase w. I'm going to delete the colon. Remember, with for loops, while loops, and later on conditionals and functions, they expect a colon. The 2 dots, and that little character right there, not a semicolon. Okay, semicolon is the dot with a comma. It's the 2 dots. And so for loops, while loops, conditionals, and functions all have that 2 dots. So while counter is less than 3, repeat this code. Now, insert media, variables, vocals, track, and start. Start plus equals 2. Okay, so how else could I screw this up? Now, this is going to be really specific to EarSketch, but one thing you'll see, let's see, I'm just going to comment this out and see what happens. This is not really an error, it's more of a bug. And what you should see happen, it should actually, you can see down here, it gives you this kind of crazy message, warning, overlapping clips, variables clip, and the loops clip. So what's happening there is it's basically, you're trying to insert the clip on top of each other. Because you haven't pushed out the start, okay, it's basically trying to insert the clip in the same exact space, and it just says, well, I can't insert a clip on the same exact space in the same track. You have to either go to the next track, or you have to go further down, like you have to push out the starting measure on the same track. So now that I run this, I say start plus equals 2, so the first time it inserts the track at 1, and then the next time then it runs the clip, and so it goes starts it at 1, then it goes start plus equals 2, so it inserts the for loops, while loops, repeating like a music track. It starts that at 3, then it plus adds 2 again to the start. The next time insert media starts at 5, it adds 2 to it, then it goes to 7, it adds 2 again. So you can see how you have to increase it by 2, otherwise if you don't do that, and if you comment this out, which basically means that Python's ignoring that, then it'll try to write a track over on top of another track, and it just can't do that. So you'll actually see that as a typical error. Okay, so we've screwed this up in a number of ways. Done some things that are really specific to EarSketch. Now I want you to open up EarSketch, get into it, and play around with it. Try to break it and throw some errors. And we'll see you again on Python MC.